everyone, welcome to the webinar. My name is Lakeisha Hamilton. I am the owner and founder of Lush Profuse Rapid Group LLC. I'm also the creator and developer of Lush Real Estate Training e-course. And my motto is influencing others to live the lifestyle that they deserve. And the reason why I chose this motto is because that's who I am. And I see so many people in the world today, they're just existing. No one's really living. They go to work, they come home, and get up and do it again. And I don't think that we're supposed to live that lifestyle. So I am on a mission to influence others to live the lifestyle that they deserve. And I want you guys to stick around to the end because I got a way to help you guys actually get into the real estate industry, for one, and two, live the lifestyle that you deserve. And this would be like an hour and 30 to 45 minutes. So make sure you stick around to the end. Put up your cell phones, get off social media, and just tune in. I got a lot of great information for you, and you will be glad that you stuck around to the end. I got some free information. I got a free gift for you. So who am I? For those of you who don't know who I am, I'm Lakeisha Hamilton. I'm a 38-year-old mother of three. My son is 24. I have a daughter 18, and my baby girl is 14. And they all will be one. My son will be 25 this year. My oldest daughter will be 19, and my baby girl will actually be 14 coming up. So I'm very excited. I'm at 15 coming up, so I'm very excited about that. I was born and raised in Rome, Georgia. I'm an author of two books, Breakthrough, A Light in the Dark Place, and my second book called Palm. I'm an entrepreneur. Real estate has not been the only business that I've actually been in. I actually had a moving and cleaning business, I'm sorry. And that failed. I started in real estate in 2002 to 2008. And when the market crashed, I didn't know what to do. And I didn't have a mentor. I didn't have a trainer or anything like that. So in 2008, I took the money that I made as a bird dog, and I put it into my moving and cleaning business. So that didn't do too good. It was actually another job, because I was working in my business. I was a technician. So you guys want to actually get away from that eventually when you're actually doing any business that you do. You know, you could be in it for at least 2 years, but you want to work yourself out of your business because you don't want another job. And so I actually had another job. It took a toll on me. And I actually was had a lot of my contracts taken away from me. So yes, I have had 2 failed businesses, and I'm not ashamed to admit that because I learned a lot, and it's helping me to run this business successfully. So I'm proud of that. So in 2011, I went back to work, and I always loved real estate. Real estate was still in the back of my mind. So I was still dibbing and dabbing into real estate, and I spent so much money on seminars. I actually started going to seminars in 2011. So that was just like, I spent tens and thousands of dollars. You know, those seminars you go to when they say, I'm having a seminar in your city. You're free to come and it's free. But once you get there, you have to pay a certain amount to go to the next one. And then once you get there, they upsell you on a 5-figure deal. So I found myself in that trap. Whatever seminar I could go to that was free, I was there. I learned a lot of information there. It's great information. But I actually took a leap of faith and actually bought one of those courses in 2014. And in 2014, I actually started my own real estate company, which is Lush Profuse Rapid Group, LPR Group. And 2016, I didn't want to make the same mistake that I did in 2002 to 2008 without having a coach and mentor. So 2016, I actually got me a business coach and a mentor. So just, I invested in myself. I got them, and, I was just telling them all the information I knew, and they were just so surprised by all the information. So, that's how my real estate training course came to be, was in 2016, October 2016, when I actually got me a business coach and actually took my real estate career to the next level. And it all started with a thought, you guys. I actually drew this right here on my left. Well, it's your left also. So on my left, I actually just I drew this out. Not really thinking that I was actually gonna make a business and this was gonna be my business logo. So I don't know if you can read this good, but it says creating the lifestyle that you deserve through Lush Profuse Rampant Group. And I know you guys know what a dove represents, and it represents who I am and who I strive to be every day. A peaceful person, a loving person. And a lot of these little designs in here is actually represent those symbols: hope, loyalty, faith, and life. So when someone sees this dove and see this drawing, I want them to, just know that when they come to me, that we're gonna represent them the best way we can. We're built on honesty, integrity, and all of that. So it's very great that you guys will actually just think about where you want to be in life. Think about your current situation and where you want to be. And I said think about it. I didn't say live in your current situation, but just think about it. And I want you to think about where you want to be in the future, because it will, whatever you think about, it manifests. If you're watching this on a computer right now, someone thought about this. If you're watching it on your cell phone right now, someone thought about your cell phone. If you're actually sitting in the chair right now, someone thought about that chair that you're sitting in, and it was made. So whatever you think about, it manifests. So I want you guys, if you don't walk away with anything else tonight, I want you to know that you do not have to be where you are in your current situation. Whether you're okay in life, or whether you want to be better in life, or you're not doing so well in life. You don't have to be in the current situation that you are now. It's always room for elevation. I want to tell you guys a little bit about this guy. His name is Justin Winters. He read my story on LinkedIn. I know you guys probably saw that my son was 24 and I'm 28. When I was 11 years old, my mom had a illness, which was a drug addiction, and she actually sold my body to local drug dealers in that area, and I ended up getting pregnant by one of those drug dealers. So basically, I expressed myself on LinkedIn, not just like put myself out there and wanting sympathy or anything, but basically I'm just telling them that my past did not define who I was, and my past did not determine my success. And this guy, he read it, he was blown away by it, and he actually let his daughters read my story. And just to just bringing some humbleness into their lives or whatever. So this guy actually reached out to me. He actually builds softwares for other real estate wholesalers. Some of them you may know because they're very influential in the community right now. Millionaires. They're doing great in the community. Actually, I bought a course from one of the guys he's worked with. So this guy's very smart, and he has a lot of money. So when he actually reached out to me, and he knew that I actually have a real estate training course, so he believed enough in me to actually help me take my business to the next level. His name is Justin Winters. I can tell you all day about what he does, but basically he's a genius on the computer. He's a software developer. So, and it's basically for real estate wholesalers. He actually used his real estate finance background and technology background, and actually co-founded a company called Wholesale.com. You guys found out about that a little later in the webinar. And so basically what that is an online marketplace for real estate investors looking to wholesale deals or to get the financing on their own deals. So Justin, he actually really simplified the life of wholesalers nowadays. So that's basically what he did. So I don't want to keep you guys too much longer tonight, but if you see Justin around, just make sure you praise Justin for helping a little country girl like me, Lakeisha Hamilton, out, and believe enough in me that know that we could take this to the next level. And I really appreciate for him. And that's all about life, guys. You just have to pay it forward. That's what life is about. And that's the way I live my life and look at the people that I've attracted into my life. People like Justin. I attract people like this every day. So at one time in my life, I was very negative, and I didn't attract the people that I wanted in my life, but I know the power of your thoughts. I know the power of your of what you do every day. It really it's a driving force into what you attract into your life and what kind of situation that you found yourself in throughout life. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump right on in. I want to tell you guys about KK to Success. And I call this KK to Success because it's Keisha Keys to Success. And basically, I want to, you guys can jot this down right quick also. I want to tell you the 5 steps that I use to become successful. Step 1 is position. You have to position yourself in order to be transformed and develop into the person that you want to be. And the 4th step is accountability. You have to have a accountability partner, because you know when we go on through life, we do stuff on a regular and we don't realize how much we do stuff on a repetition basis, and it's like sometimes you don't know that you're doing something wrong, but you have to have friends around you, people around you that tell you, oh no, stop, what you're doing is wrong. So you need that accountability partner, and just get you on the right track. Another thing, I put accountability with responsibility because it both plays a role together. So you have to be responsible for who you let into your life. You have to be responsible for what happens in your life, and you have to be responsible for what happened to other people, especially if you're in a business. Your business, you have to make your business for everyone else. And I know a lot of people going to business being selfish. It's not like that. And anybody tell you that, okay, I want to go into business and I don't have to worry about nobody else, you have to need other people. So you have to be responsible for other people as well. Like your customer service is key in business. And last but not least, you have to take action. You guys are on this webinar tonight, so that means that you guys are action takers. You could have been doing anything else, but you decided to be on this webinar and you took action. So that lets me know that you guys are part of the 1% because you took action. And another thing I want to talk to you about is the 3 S's. I actually got this from Tony Robbins. I'm a big Tony Robbins fan, Les Brown fan. I love those guys. I've learned a lot, and I live by what they actually teach. And he actually spoke on 3 S's, and I thought this was very important. That's why I put it in his webinar, and that's why I'm putting this before I go into the wholesale thing, because it's very important that you have your mindset right. We can have strategies. You could get we'll talk about the wholesale kit a little later, but you can have the wholesale kit. You can have anything, any kind of strategy, but if you don't have that proper mindset, you cannot go far in life. You have to be able to reprogram your mind, and so you can get back on track, so you can be positioned, transformed, and you're developing to the person that you are today, that you want to be. So let's start with strategies. And I'm biggie on strategies. I love strategies. I love systems. I love all of those things. Those things work. If you're in business, you need strategies. If you're in business, you need systems. And other than that, you also need the right state of mind, which is your mindset. Because, like I said earlier, you have to be able to be reprogrammed. I know a lot of people, they go, and we had this like a short attention span, I would say. If, like, just say if you got we'll use this webinar for this. Let's say if you got on this webinar and it was boring from the start, so you didn't want to be on this webinar, but you don't know what you would get at the end. See, that's what you don't need to do. You have to have the right state of mind, and you can't have that know-it-all and too good to be true. I know that's that saying. If it's too good to be true, then it's probably not true. Well, you might be wrong this time. You might be wrong. You miss an opportunity with that state of mind, and like this thing I was raised up with, money doesn't grow on trees. Apple does. That grows on trees. Don't you make money by selling apples? That grows on trees, right? Don't we use the paper? That's a tree. That's part of a tree. So, I mean, we have to get reprogrammed. A lot of people, we've been raised up saying a lot of different things, and we just roll with it throughout life. Guys, change your state of mind. And I promise you, you change your state of mind, you'll change your whole life. And then another thing, you got to be careful with the story that you tell yourself. Now, if I would have told myself that I'm another statistic, I was raped as a little girl, so I have to be one of those statistics, one of those victims that, just let their life define who they were. Now, no, I mean, I could be in any situation. I know we all handle our problems differently, but you got to be careful with the story that you tell yourself. Now, I didn't want to be stuck in a rut, and I made sure that the story that I was telling myself was the story that fits the outcome that I wanted. A lot of people spoke over my life and put me in a box. They said that my kids was gonna have kids at a young age. My sister and I, we were gonna be on drugs like our mom. My kids was gonna be on drugs. None of that happened. None of that happened. And I told you my baby girl birthday's coming up. She broke the cycle. My sister had her child at 14. I had mine at 13. My daughter's 15, or she'll be 15. She has not had a kid. My 18-year-old and my 24-year-old hasn't had a kid. My sister kids, they're actually 17 and 25. She has two boys. They haven't had kids. Well, my nephew has a child, but he had it at 22. So, I mean, we're breaking the cycle, guys. You got to be careful with the story that you tell yourself. You got to be careful of the story that people tell about you. They try to write a story for you. So that's very important. So I want to get out this soapbox. I don't want to keep on this subject too long, but it's very important, guys. If you want to succeed in life, you have to get positioned. And you have to make sure that you find that the story that you tell yourself, it has to be the story that you want to live in the future. So that's very important, guys. I really want you to just let that sink in. And those are the keys to success. So let's go ahead and talk about how to run a successful real estate business. I know that I'm gonna go through this real quick, right? And I know that a lot of people on this webinar tonight, actually, some people that I know that they already run a successful business. And I appreciate you guys being on this webinar tonight, because we all have room to learn more. And for you guys that's just learning how to become wholesalers, real estate investors, etc. And I appreciate you guys being on here. So just to be fair to everybody, we're just gonna start from one. And I'll go through this real quickly and just give some little pointers that can help you run a successful real estate business. So we already talked about the 3 S's, and we also talked about the KKs to success. And another thing I want to talk about, invest in yourself and learn and teach. So in 2002, 2008, I didn't invest in myself. I quit when the market crashed because I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know how to handle that. So I quit, and I did not invest in myself when in 2002 to 2008. And also I didn't take the time out to learn anything. I started that in 2011. I started learning a lot about real estate. I went at it on my own, and all the guys that was paying me $200 as a bird dog, they were making a killing on all of those leads that I was sending them. And if I would have asked them what was going on, because I did ask like 2 of them, but it stopped me from asking the rest of them, because the other 2, they didn't want to teach me anything. They didn't want to let me know anything that was going on. So yeah, it's very important that when you invest in yourself, you learn some information, and I want you guys to go teach it. Do like I'm doing. I'm teaching it to you guys. So you invest in yourself, you learn it, and you teach it. Because a lot of people out here, they don't want to tell you a lot of things, because it's some good money in real estate, and a lot of people have this idea that all this money is for me, which this money is for everybody. It's enough money out here for everybody. So make sure that you teach what you learn and that you invest in. And another thing, you got to have systems. I talked about that a few minutes about systems, and you got to have systems for your leads to come in, and you need a place for those leads to actually be in one place that will be organized. So you want to be very organized, and you want a system that will actually evaluate your deals and have your marketing on autopilot. So systems are very important in running any business. And then another thing, team. You remember I was telling you about the team. If anybody tells you that you can run a business by yourself, they're not successful. Because any successful person would tell you you need a team to run your business, any business. And another thing, you need entities. Starting out, you can get an LLC in your name. I'm not in your name, but you can make up a name and have an LLC. And I know a lot of people don't tell you, but you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket, for one. And then two, you want to protect yourself. So, and you want to do wholesaling legally, and you want to always think about protecting yourself in that deal. So, I know a lot of people probably flip assign contracts in their name. You want to get an entity and actually assign that contract with that entity. So, I don't want to go too far into that. You guys can look it up, or you guys can actually be a part of this training group. Also, you'll learn about all of that. So I won't go too far in it tonight, but make sure you have an entity to actually flip your deals in. And also a website. You tell me what important business does not have a website. And I see a lot of people out here, they're in real estate, but they don't even have a website, let alone a professional email and a phone number. I still use Google Voice. That's a great thing. I also have I forgot that service called, but it's like I pay $24 a month, and it's like this 1-800 whatever real estate. It's an easy name, so they can actually contact me. But I use Google. So starting out, you use Google, and you also can go to G Suite. That's GSUITE, and actually get a professional email for free. And not only that, if you get a website, they will offer you a professional email. So if I see people with Gmails, I really don't take them too serious. So that's why I'm telling you guys that. I know people that's successful in real estate or any business, they won't take you as serious if you don't have a professional email. Because any person that's running a business, they have an email and a website. So let's go ahead and jump into wholesaling real estate. Okay, so wholesaling real estate in a nutshell, it's actually when you put a property on a contract and you sign or resell that property to another investor. Okay, so the investor, a wholesaler, it sells to for either using the cash or line of credit or hard money loans. And I don't want to read all of this for you guys. You can read it right now while I'm talking. But basically, the key word here is putting it under contract. And what makes this a binding contract is when you actually put some earnest money down on that property. And I know a lot of people say that, Keisha, this is not wholesaling isn't legal because don't I have to have a license? And I asked them, I was like, can you sell your house without a realtor? And a lot of people stumble. They're like, yes. So, and I asked them why. Why can't you sell your house without a license? And why can't you sell it without a realtor? He said, because I own it. It's mine. My name's on the deed. My name's on the contract. I said, exactly. So if you decide to sell your house to me and I put it on a contract and I make it a binding contract because I put some money down, I can actually do whatever I want with that property. Not whatever I want, but I have a right to assign it, and you make sure you put and or assign on that contract once you have it on a contract. And on a few more slides down, I want to tell you guys about this very important paperwork that you need. It's called Affidavit of Purchase and Sales Agreement. So I'm going to tell you guys about that a little later, but that will help you protect yourself because a lot of people will go around you in real estate and they will steal that deal from you. So I'll tell you a little bit about that. But basically, a wholesaler is the middleman, and a good wholesaler becomes a very well paid middleman. So it's a good way to enter into real estate. And I can't sit here and tell you that it's not hard, because if it were easy, everybody be doing it. And I mean, you'll have to go through about 100 properties before you get to the right properties. You have to go through 100 people before you get to the right people, the right decision makers. So the thing is that if you have a good deal on the contract, there are other established investors out there that will be glad to pay you cash in a matter of days, like 5 to 7 days or 7 to 10 days. So let's just say, for instance, if you have a house that we could sell fixed up, and the ARV is $100,000, and it needs only $10,000 in repairs, and you have a contract on it for $55,000, then a developer investor that you network with, they can have an investor buy for $60,000. So you can make $5,000 in a matter of days. So basically, in a nutshell, that's real estate wholesaling. You buy a property at discount, you sell it, and a keyword, and you get it on a contract, and you assign it. But don't be greedy, guys. I tell everybody, do not be greedy with those assignment fees, because real estate, you have to build business, build relationship. And so if that person is buying from you and he has to fix it up, now if he's not buying and holding, he's gonna sell it, right? So if he knew that you're somebody to be trusted, and he began to like you, and I'm gonna show you guys another way to build relationships in a few more slides, but that buyer will use you to sell that property for him. And there you go, you're making another $5,000, $10,000. So don't be greedy when you're doing real estate wholesaling. And it's 10 steps to understanding the process of wholesaling. And I'm going to go through these real quick. So the first one, you want to spend time marketing the properties, because you have to have the phone ringing, right? And another thing, you have to weed out, you'll spend 98% of your time weeding out the potential prospects. Because a lot of people get out here and they say that they're buyers. They're not. A lot of people get out here saying that they have that they own that property. They don't. So 98% of your time, you'll be weeding out the potential prospects and people that's all the tire kickers. I'm gonna put it like that. Then another thing, you want to complete your due diligence on that property and arrange a meeting with that seller. And the reason why I say that is because a lot of people find properties on Craigslist or wherever, and they'll shoot it out to their buyers list. Don't do that. Do your complete due diligence. And when I say complete due diligence, do something real quick, a real quick formula. I'll show you on that also on the next slide. And that'll be part of your due diligence. Then you arrange a meeting with that seller first to make sure it's still available too. And just make sure that when you talk to that seller, you can actually get in the ballpark of what you can offer him for that property. So you always want to do that due diligence first. And you want to negotiate, actually when you talking to him, a price where you'll be able to wholesale it at a decent price. Then you want to sign that contract and make sure that you put a small deposit down to make it a binding contract. And then another thing, the contingencies in there. You want to protect yourself in the deal also. So you want to actually put in subject to inspection, subject to subject to something. You want to just protect yourself in that deal. And you also want to market that property to your wholesale buyers list. Now I have like over 630 people on my buyers list. Now I do not shoot out properties to all of those people. I probably just do it to like 5 people, because I got like 5 potential buyers that I know that will buy properties, whatever property that I send them. So that's best to just shoot it out to a few people. Now, if you do it like all 600 people, now that's when it becomes a daisy chain. Because by the time you get to the 12th person and they have an actual buyer, it's by the time you get to the 8th person back up to you, they have lost track. They don't even know who it comes from. So be careful with that. Send it out to 2 or 3 potential buyers that you know that will buy the property. And you want to show that property to that buyer. And you're going to sign the contract for a higher price again. Don't be too greedy. Sign it for like $5,000 or $10,000. And then you want to monitor that process, because you know what? The deal isn't done until it's in your bank account. So you want to make sure you monitor that process of the paperwork. And I was talking about the team, and I thought this was very important that I actually put this in here, because I know a lot of people on here that has not did real estate before. So this is what I mean by your team: your CPAs, your accountants, the title company, banker, real estate lawyer, appraiser, realtor, mortgage broker, contractor, handyman, insurance agent, investors and buyers, property locators, private investors, coach and mentor. Now, starting out, for you guys that starting out, you won't have everybody. So you'll probably beat all of these people in one. And make sure you stick around to the end. I'm so excited. I cannot wait to get there. I want to show you guys an easy way that you can put all of this into one. Because I know a lot of people out here struggling in the wholesale world. And Justin and I actually made this a little bit better for you guys. So another thing, you want to have an in-house wholesale team. And I call this is your power team. You'll want an assistant processor, marketing director, acquisition specialist, selling specialist, and runner. Mind you now, this is a business. This is not a job. You're not a technician. So you want to use other people as leverage. So once you get established in this real estate industry, you want to have all these people in place, because it's not a business if you're doing it all yourself. So this is very important. And I put this in for all the new people, because just write it down. And these are the people that you will need on your wholesale team to run your business. And knowing your numbers. This is very important, guys. Your maximum allowable offer. I know a lot of people get into the real estate industry. They just want to close a deal. That's not the way it goes. You have to know your number. And I'm going to give you this formula because this is where it was taught to me. And this is where that I'm using it right now, and it's helping me. But you can't see that right there, but it actually say MAO. I have to fix that, so it's blocking it. But what you do is you take the ARV, which is the after repair value, and you subtract the repairs. Okay? So you want to times that by 70% minus the profit, your profit, $5,000, $10,000, whatever you're willing to make off of it, equals the maximum allowable offer. So that's 0.70%. That's the buy, sell, and hold cost. What the buyer will have to that's the expense of the buyer. So let's just say, for instance, that the house that you have, the maximum allowable offer is $85,000. Once you did your math, you came up to $85,000. So with the $85,000, you go see that seller, and it's your quick math that you did on that property, and you negotiate a price with that seller, a negotiable price that you can wholesale at a higher price. So let's just say $85,000. You do not want to get close to that $85,000. You do not want to go over that $85,000. So let's just start your bid at, let's just say they're asking $90,000. Let's just say they're asking $90,000. So they're asking $90,000, but your maximum allowable offer is $85,000. So you cannot give them $90,000. And the after repair value is probably like $120,000. So what you want to do, you want to start your bid at $70,000 or $75,000, because you know they're always gonna counter. So you have to use your better judgment what to start at. But as long as do not go to $85,000. Now you can go to $83,000, $83,500, but do not go to $85,000. So that's basically how you actually get the maximum allowable offer on your property. And evaluating the deals, I'll go through this real quick for you guys about evaluating the deal. So basically, I'm gonna tell you a little secret. If you want to know what needs to be fixed on that house and what a house is worth, if you're doing like a quick evaluation, ask that seller. Ask that seller what would how much they would pay for that property that they're trying to buy. Ask that seller if they were buying that property, what would they fix? So that's the best way to actually get a guesstimate about what needs to be fixed and what the best price is for that property. And you won't feel bad about getting a low ball offer. And another secret, guys. Now, if you're making an offer to on a property, you're getting a whole bunch of yeses, your offer is too high. Now, if you're not feeling guilty about that offer, you're not offering the right price. So you have to feel guilty about the offer. So don't mind giving no low ball offer on a property, as long as you're being using reasonable numbers to get that low ball offer. Now don't be ridiculous with it. as long as you're getting a reasonable number for it. And also you want to know the current debt of that, what they owe on that property. And also you want to do a preliminary value check, and that's basically, you know, doing the comps, running your comps, seeing how much the property's worth. I use this software. You could Google it. It's online. It's findcompsnow.com. It's FINDNOWCOMPS now.com. And they actually pull up how much that property is worth. So that's a free software that you guys can use. And basically this right here is just telling you what I already just went over. And that there is the findcompsnow.com. That is what I use right there. Findcomps. No, that's what I used to use. All right, this is the affidavit of purchase and sales agreement that I was telling you about. This right here would protect you so no one can go around you on any of your deals. The only signature it needs is yours. So what it does, it becomes a lien on the property, and the property and the seller will not be able to pass on a clean title to another buyer without releasing this lien first. So it only requires your signature, your name, phone number, and your address. So make sure if you change your phone number or your address, make sure you go up there and inform them, especially if you haven't got paid yet. So I want you guys to Google that, and you can download this affidavit of purchase and sales agreement. Get familiar with it, and once you get a property under contract, immediately go to the courthouse and file this affidavit. Because a buyer can and a seller can go around you. They can wait your contract out and just do the deal without you once your contract's in. So make sure you go and do that and protect yourself in any deal that you do. Another way, I want to tell you guys about lenders. It's a lot of money out here, and people, you know, they use resources as a reason why they cannot finish their deal. So I just jotted down a few of them that you guys can look at, and I wanted to tell you guys about you know, resources of money that you can use. And a lot of people are scared to ask people for money, but I'm gonna give you some ways to protect your lender, so you can go and tell your lender, whomever it be, your family member or whomever. These are some ways you can protect them in a deal. So I'm gonna just read this out to you. A promissory note. This is your lender's collateral for their investment capital. So this is a promissory note for your lender. You know, just for them giving you money for it. So a deed of trust or mortgage. This is the document that is recorded with the county clerk and recorded to secure the investment against the real property that you are providing as collateral. So you want to make sure that their name is on the deed. So you could tell them, you know, that their name is going to be on deed. You can actually have all four of these. And also you hazard it as collateral. Now anything can happen. So you want to make sure you protect that deal, that property. You know, we can't control Mother Nature, but we can control what we can, the finances, if something happened after a disaster or whatever. So you guys want to make sure that you always protecting your lender and have them on that insurance as well. So you want to have that hazardous as collateral on the list for the private investor. Another thing, I use appraisals. It's optional, guys. You don't have to use it. A lot of people, they don't use this, but I think it's just something extra that we can use for the lender. You know, they can see that what the property is actually appraised for. So you want you don't want to leave nothing on the table. So it's optional of getting an appraisal done, but I mean, it's worth it. So I want to go ahead and move right along. And I want to tell you a little bit more about alternative strategies for funding. So you can also get hard money, business partnerships, contract assignments, like we were talking about, assumptions. You could assume a loan, lease option. You can do lease option and lease purchase. You can do subject to existing finance, so you can actually take over the loan. Owner financing, buy sell in an LLC, cross collateral, collateral. So if you have other real estate, you have a car, you have something else that you can actually use as cross collateral that's worth a decent amount, you can use that. Notes refinance to a purchase, credit partners, rezoning, limited partners, and private placements. And you can also do line of credit also. So I just want to just tell you guys that, because a lot of people, there's no money out here I can't do. There's so many ways to get into real estate. There's so many ways to actually fund a deal. But I want to tell you guys an easier way. Now, when I found out this way about wholesaling, now my business just skyrocketed. So reverse wholesaling is when you actually find a buyer first, and then you get the seller. And I like this way because I like building relationships. So I jotted down a few things of what I do when I do reverse wholesaling. So first, I go in there, I interview the client, I identify the client's desire. Then I go locate the desired property. I connect buyer and seller together, and we close on the deal. Simple as that. You guys remember that 8-step, all of that? See, I think this is easier because it focuses your efforts on revenue generating activities. So I know a lot of people, they don't have money going into the deal. So what you do is find the money first, and then you go find a home. And it builds a relationship long term. And there's no commitment at all. So you're not getting the property first and getting it under contract and then have to go find the money. So there's no commitment at all. You can do it remotely, and you can be paid a consultant fee also. So a lot of people don't like paying wholesalers, like getting a spread or whatever, but you could be a consultant. You could get paid thousands of dollars as being a consultant. So that's a good thing. It requires no experience. And we go shopping for what buyers want. Then we reverse and then we actually go sell them what they have. Sell to them what we have. So basically we find the money, then we go find the property. So that's why I love the strategy for reverse wholesaling. It's so much easier, guys. So much easier, and it's less stressful. And before we go into the good part, I want to tell you guys something. Now, I see a lot of people still advertising, even people that's making big money in real estate. They say get in with no money down, da da this, da da da. Okay. Now, it requires money, but it doesn't have to be your money. So I just wanted to tell you that. And I'm going to give you a little strategy that you can actually use. And this is a true strategy right here. So let's just say that your property is worth $100,000. Okay? And then your seller is asking for $60,000. So your ARV is $100,000. The seller's asking for $60,000 for the property. So you go find a lender that's willing to give you 60 to 70% of what that property is worth. So let's go ahead and do the math. 70% of $100,000 is what? $70,000. $60,000 goes to the seller. $10,000 goes to you, or either the credited to your loan. So guys, let me tell you, you will not get all that $10,000 because you have to pay fees and everything. And this is 2017. That money will not be going back to your pocket. A lender will not let you walk out of there with money. It'll be credited to your loan. So again, it's a no money down strategy. It wasn't your money, but it was somebody's money. So a lot of people get tricked, and they think that, okay, it's no money down, no credit. Okay, that fits my criteria. I'm going. Now it's somebody's money, but it doesn't have to be your money. So I just want to make that clear to you guys. And if people want to stress that to you, that it is no money down strategies, for one, bring it to me. I want to know. And then two, I say run away from them. I don't care what they're doing that they're successful at. It's not true at all. So what I want to do before we get to the real estate wholesaling kit, I want to ask you a few questions. Are you tired of dead leads? Are you tired of not being able to get funding for your deals? Now, I showed you a lot of ways to get some funding. for your deals. But a lot of people don't take initiative and actually go that route. And let me ask you, can you get a lead generating website? Can you afford to get one right now? Now I'm not talking about just any website. I'm talking about a lead generating website. You know, you have to, when you get your own website, you have to do that ad word and all of that good stuff. It's too complicated for me. I can't do it. So what about the you get the hands-on support that you need? I know when I bought my software and from one of the real estate gurus, I didn't get this training that I needed. And actually, when I bought the course, I did have a coach that would call me twice a week, well, once a week. But it was just like he was getting frustrated with me, and I just stopped answering the phone for him because it was just like he was just rushing and he just didn't have the time for me. He didn't want to help me. I sensed that he didn't want to help me, and I kept frustrating him. So I just stopped. I kept the software, and I did all the training up myself. So what I did, I created what I wanted. I went and created my own real estate training course. I learned from them. A lot of them, I spent tens of thousands of dollars of it. So I went and created my own real estate training course. And Justin came along and helped me enhance my real estate training course with his system. So we put the training that I can use and the system that he's developed, we put it all into one. And I call it a real estate wholesaling kit. And that's exactly what it is. So do you need help in pulling your comps? I know I do a lot of properties, a business in Florida, and we assign a lot of properties over there, and it's hard trying to get realtors to actually pull the comps on those properties. And you want to go in with an accurate number, so it's good to have a realtor, someone who actually give you those comps. So are you tired of not being able to get those comps? What about finding a property owner? What about like when you go to the title company and your deal, I know you heard some people say, well, the deal fell through. So when you hear that, the title company did their due diligence and they found something that was wrong with that property. What if you could save thousands of dollars and you know for sure going into that title company that you know that deal will actually go through? So you need something that will help you pull that title. You need to know everything you can about that property and that property owner. So before you even go to the title company, wouldn't that give you wouldn't it'll be a little less stressful? Because I know a lot of people, and you guys don't the ones that's on here that's new, you don't understand it right now. So it's good, just okay, I got a deal, it's going to contract. No, you get scared when they go to that title company, because that title company is going to run whatever report they have to run to make sure that's a good deal. So I get so scared when it goes to the title company, well, I used to anyway, because I never knew if the deal was going to go through. So I was just so scared. So the deal isn't done until the money's in your bank account. So speaking of bank account, do you need cash in your pocket like yesterday? And you remember when I told you guys earlier that I wanted you to stick around to the end, I got a free gift for you. But before that, I want to show you something. I want to show you a part of this real estate wholesaling kit. Now, what you'll get with this real estate wholesaling kit is you'll get 2 lead generating websites, which is a seller website and a buyer's website. We don't have time to do the buyer's website, so I didn't put that in. You get a Driving for Dollars app, and you'll also be able to, you know what? I'm not even gonna ruin it for you. I'm just gonna show you what you're gonna get. How about that? How about if I just show you? All right, let's see. You guys see I was looking for some apartments.
Hi guys, Justin Winters here from Wholesale.com. Wanted to walk you through how to use our seller site. We sell 2 sites. As part of our website package, you get 1 seller site and 1 buyer site. Now, this is a website system for wholesalers, but on the buyer site, as you'll see in another demo, there's an opportunity for people who are in the real estate investment sphere to also use those sites as well. But let's just focus on the seller site. So we have an example up on the web. Anybody can go to seller.whosipsites.com. So here's the example site that's out there now for people to view and play around with and see how they like it. But I just want to point out a few things. One is we spend a lot of time with marketers, with data scientists to figure out what are some of the key things that would make a lead generation website just really explode, especially in the real estate space. So there are a few things that we did with our developers to really get you all the best seller website out there in the market that truly drives traffic and really captures a conversion. So one of the things that I want to point out is this address bar here. If you scroll down the site, if you pay attention to it, you'll notice how it's sticky. And now you also have the input box that stays at the top of the screen, so that it's always looking to get information from your sellers or the people that you push to your website. So again, this is for driving seller traffic. So if you click out, then it goes away. But let's just put in an example address. All right, so if you drive traffic to this site, I'll just choose any old address. You can see here, it actually geolocates where I am, and I am in Herndon, Virginia area as of this recording. So let's just choose one of the addresses. Actually, let's choose a good address here. 103 Douglas Court, Sterling. I don't know whose house that is, and if you're watching this video, I apologize. But that's just one that comes up. So let's just assume that the people who lived at this address wanted to sell their home, and they went and they put the address in, and then they hit the Get Fair Offer Now. They get this form that says, hey, I think we found your house. So they can fix the address if for any reason that the address is incorrect. If, say, they had an apartment number, if they wanted to change the zip code because the zip code was wrong, but we do our best to try to figure out what that address is. And if they say it's right, you'll notice here the happy house too. So you want to keep people in that mindset of being happy. It's right. So how can we contact you? Now, this is where your lead starts to come in. So let's just say I am, Sally test lead, and my phone number is 571-555-1212. And my email address is sally@testlead.com. And Sally would hit the next button, and then there are a few other questions that we ask up front to help inform you so that you understand a little bit about the lead, but just enough so as not to turn the person away. But roughly, what's the square footage of their house? Let's say it's 1,500 square feet. They've how many bedrooms? 3 bedrooms, 4 baths, overall condition. Needs, no work is needed, minimal work needed, needs lots of work. That should give you a pretty good idea of, whether or not it's a deal. And what type of home? Townhome, condo, lot, single family. So let's just choose single family for now. And a big question that we all want to know is the house currently vacant? If it is, they can say yes. And they hit the finish button. And once they're finished, they get this nice completion. Hey, Sally, you're done. One of our agents will call you soon to discuss your home. And then when she hits done, she's redirected back to the site so that she can also start looking through the site, looking through your content, build that trust. You have a FAQ section, so you can edit FAQs specific to how you do your business, how it works section, additional forms, lead forms that if for any reason you didn't capture them on the landing page, they can also fill out a form here. And the testimonials section where you can add testimonials, people that have given you real testimonials on your business. All these pages are editable at any time using your Who's Up website. So that's a quick introduction to how the site works from a user's perspective. Now let's log into the site. So for any site that you get on our network, you just go to the website/login, and let's log in as guest with the password of guest. And this is the back panel. So this is your back panel where you would manage all of your leads, any of your deals, and also editing any of your pages on your website. So you can see here to the left, you've got a few options. One is to go to your Whoozip dashboard. You can also manage open houses. We'll get into that later. But for now, what we care about is you just got a lead that came in. So let's go look at that lead. So let's click on Seller Leads. And we should see how Sally Test Lead came in. If I click on Sally Test Lead, it tells me what time. It gives me all the information, like the lat and long, the mapping information, what city the address was in, what the property type is, all the information that Sally had filled out on the form so that you can make an informed decision. And if you're on your mobile phone, you could just click this phone and it will call Sally right away. Or you can click this, Sally's email address, and it'll open up your mail client, and you can send Sally an email right away as well. So we'll get into posting a deal when we start to review the buyer site. So we're not going to go through that now. But let's just go through some of the pages that we reviewed earlier that are, on the public-facing side of your website. So let's just say on the About Us page, we wanted to edit that page. So let's click on About Us. And we also clicked on Pages on the left here. I left that out. So make sure you click on Pages, choose the page that you want to edit, and then you come here and you can use the Visual Builder. Now guys, this makes it extraordinarily easy to edit pages. As the Visual Builder comes up, you can just edit the pages right here. What you see is what you get. So if we want to change it from About Us to Learn More About Our Process, and you can change it here, like if you want to say what your company name is. Let's just say Great Home Buyers. I don't know if this is a real business. Great Home Buyers of America, LLC. And you notice this purple circle at the bottom. You just click that, go to the right, click Save. Wait for it to finish because now it's posting. You get the check mark. Now that page is done. So we can exit the Visual Builder. We can go back to editing the page. So we get back to this view. And if we want, we can always click this link here, which takes us to the page so we can make sure all of our changes got updated. So here we have Learn More About Our Process, the Acquisitions Team, Great Home Buyers of America. We see all of our edits. We see our form at the bottom. So everything is looking good. One thing that I want to point out is the ability to get detailed data to make great buying decisions up front. So our Sally Test Lead came in at 103 Douglas Court, Sterling, Virginia. In the wholesale business, we all know you make money when you buy the house, not when you sell it. Your ability to negotiate. So the amount of data that you can have when you call Sally in order to negotiate a great price that works for you and for Sally is the name of the game. So you'll notice in your website, you have a section here called Order Reports. Let's go to Order Reports. Okay, so let's just assume that our lead came in, and I'm just going to put in an address for a property that I know was recently posted in the Whoozip marketplace. So let's just say a lead came in, and the address is 1088. Let's do 1088 Grove Street. And this property is actually in Irvington, New Jersey. We have a lot of who's abusers in northern Jersey. So let's just use this as an example. So if you had a lead that came in and you wanted to get more details before you talk to the owner, you can use the advanced property reports, the details. So remember, over here on the left, you just click Order Reports, you type in the address, and let's hit search. All right, so here it geolocated for you, and the reason why we do this is because sometimes we would just want to make sure that we have the address right. Sometimes you'll see more than one address down here, but most of the time you'll just see one address. And included in your subscription is advanced data reports that give you all types of data. So let's just go ahead and order it. You see here the words included because it's included in your subscription. All right, so this is just to confirm that you really want to order this report. Let's hit do it. Let's do it. Let's get this data. And you can see here we've got a Google Street View of the property. So before we go, just in case we don't have pictures, we can get a look at the property and actually see a little bit about the neighborhood. So this is an amazing way of just kind of understanding, what's happening with the property. You can start doing your analysis before you talk to the lead, just to, ask them questions about the neighborhood if you have some before you have to actually go out there. All right, so let's scroll down and look at what type of data comes back. We've got the assessed value, we've got all the tax data. We don't have to go to 100 different websites to gather all this tax information. So you've got that here, right? So the most recent sale back in 2003, who it was sold to. Here you've got owner information. You get the owner's name. Pretty soon we'll be providing owner phone numbers as well. But you can see the mortgages that are against this house and roughly when that mortgage was recorded. So you see this mortgage was recorded back in 2003 for $275,000. You can just do some back of the envelope math and figure out, hey, how much equity do I think that they have after having had that mortgage for 10 years or 11 years, or in this case this would be 14 years or almost 14 years. And you can see the property history here, who actually holds the mortgage. If it's a private lender, we'll also have the private lender information. And then you can see what liens are against the house in addition to the mortgages. So if there are any judgments on this property, if there's any tax liens, you can see all this data coming back so that you can really understand the situation that that this lead is in, or that this motivated seller is in, because having more information is good. Puts you in a better position to negotiate and to truly help this person. So that's an example of not only killer lead generation website, but the ability to also get market data, to get property data, lien data, judgment data, federal tax liens, anything that you need in order to negotiate, you've got here under Order Reports. You also have a calculator, and what this calculator allows you to do is to put in the assumptions. Okay, so let's just say, right, we have one property that came in, and we want to know roughly how much should we offer on this house. We want to do not only just our 70% ARV calculation, but we know that if we buy this house at $150,000, okay, we assume that the ARV for this property is, let's say, $300,000, right? And so you don't have to think about what are all the things that I should consider when I'm doing a deal or when I make an offer. We've got it all here for you. You can put in attorney's fees, title. You can make guesstimates around all these various closing costs. And if you don't want to guess, you can just make a base assumption. And let's just assume $1,500 well, that was $15,000. Hopefully it's not that expensive. $1,500 in closing costs, and let's just say we think, just looking at it, $40,000 for rehab costs. And how long do we think we're going to hold this property? Typically quick fix and flip, we think we'll hold it for 6 months. Or it's good to know, even if you do the assumptions around what an investor, your eventual buyer, if you're a wholesaler, what they would be considering. That's what this calculator does for you. So let's say during that time they've got hard money, They're paying $2,000 a month in interest and everything else, so that'd be $12,000 in total holding costs. And then it calculates your cost basis and what that return on investment is. $18,500 is roughly what that deal would be. That may not be something that floats your boat or an investor's boat. So now you know, maybe I need to offer $125,000 on this property. And you'll see over here, this, as soon as I click out of that field, this will update. And now my return on investment is 18.2%. That feels better like a deal. So maybe I can even adjust it further, maybe 130,000. So let's do 130,000. And you see right there, as soon as I tap that number in, that donut moves, our calculations are complete, and now we can make an informed decision. You can also click this rental button and put in rental assumptions. So down here we can make rental assumptions. Maybe this is a property that if we get the right price on it, we can actually hold on to this property and add it to our rental portfolio for that long-term income stream. So you can see all the values here. Silly easy to just add that data here, get those answers, look at this donut, kind of update real time and get your net operating income, your cap rates, all the stuff that you savvy investors want to know. Okay, so here you have it. We've looked at editing pages in your seller site. We've looked at how you can navigate your dashboard. We looked at how you can manage leads that come in on your website. We looked at how you can order advanced reports on properties for those leads that come in, and you can order reports, advanced reports on any property, not just the leads. If you've got other properties that you're interested in, for example, if you're using our Driving for Dollars app, we'll do another video about our Driving for Dollars app. But right now, this one's about our killer seller website. So let's just go back, and this is the website. And so just to wrap it all up, lead generation, the ability to get market data, advanced data on the properties that come in on your leads, the ability to manage those leads. And then once we get into the buyer site, you'll see how you can convert those leads into deals that you post on your buyer website that you can get as part of your website package, and also how those properties are also listed on Wholesale.com that we're spending tons of money to market so that buyers from all across the nation are looking at your properties. All right, so that's it for this time.
All right, wasn't that cool? So basically, we won't go into the buyer website because we don't have time tonight. So what we'll do, we'll actually go into the Driving for Dollars app. I really want you guys to do that, to see that tonight. So basically, I'm gonna just tell you a little bit about the buyer's website. The buyer's website is when you actually when you actually upload your properties on that website. And let's just say that, let me give a good example. Okay. When other people comes to your website, you get that buyer's website, other people come to your website looking for properties, other investors' properties pop up on your website. So it's not like you don't have any inventory. And you can also do some joint ventures on with other investors as well, because other people have came to your website to find properties. So therefore you could joint venture with other people that has uploaded their properties on the site as well. So that's basically in a nutshell about the buyer's website. But let's go ahead and jump right on into the Driving for Dollars app. This won't be too long. It's like 6 or 7 minutes. So let's go ahead and do the Driving for Dollars app. And guys, you will love this app. I promise you.
Okay guys, so I want to take a couple of minutes real quick to show you our Driving for Dollars app in action. This is already built into the Wholesale platform day one. So we're out in the field. As happens, you know, sometimes you have the disruptions and noisy things like the trash going by. Anyway, we're out here in the field in the area that I actually work. This is North Bergen, New Jersey. It's just outside Manhattan, and we've come across something that we think is a pretty good prospect. This is, listen, in North Jersey and a lot of cities, we're not going to have overgrown lawns because we don't have lawns, right? But what we will almost always have is what you see there. See that sign on the door? That's almost certainly a sign from the bank that's controlling this property, saying that it's in receivership, and that green sign is almost certainly a code violation. Your eye will start to get trained for stuff like that. So anyway, I'm driving along, spotted that, figured I would stop and give you guys a real life example of us using driving for dollars. So I don't know what we're gonna find, but let's see. So if we tap the location button, and we have, okay, so it looks like it's found the location. I'm just gonna confirm it, and then I can hit save. Now you'll notice that I am doing this on my iPad because I'm actually using my iPhone to shoot this video, but normally I do it on my iPhone, and it works great on any smartphone, whether it's an Android or an iPhone. Anyway, what you notice is it said that it has saved this property to your dashboard, and your dashboard is just central command for everything that you do on Whoozip. It's going to save all your driving for dollars stuff. It's going to save the deals you've posted, any reports you've run, etc. Now that we've saved this thing, we can either wait until we get back to the office and fill in the blanks and add notes, or I can start that work right here. You see those 4 icons? Those 4 icons give me the option to add pictures, as many as I like. And again, the great thing, if you've done driving for dollars, then you know what I mean. You don't have to go back through your phone and scroll through and figure out, oh, wait a minute, was that picture attached to 123 Main Street, or was that the next house that I stopped in front of? It gets to be really tedious. It's a small little thing that wastes time just because you're trying to transfer information. Well, we solve that for you because you add the photos and they're attached to that particular address. Then, if you want, you can add notes to the property. You know, I could write in here, it looks like it's missing a couple shingles, but the house is in good shape. Looks like there are code violations. Whatever it is that I have observed, I can put that right here in the notes section. And then, and this is the really cool part, you see that magnifying glass there? If I tap that, I can really start to dig in. Maybe I really like what I see about this area or about this property. I can pull one of those sort of mini title reports that I talked about earlier. And that's when you start to really figure out sort of the backstory or the history of a property. Just by tapping that, a couple things happen immediately. Number one, it's going to pull some tax assessor information. It's going to tell me what the tax assessed amount is. It's going to tell me how big the lot is, what the zoning is on the property, what its current use is, legal use is, all that kind of stuff. And it's going to immediately pull up comps. So I've already got comps, guys. I mean, listen, I'm halfway down the road. It's only been, 10 or 15 seconds, and I know the zoning information, and I've got comps pulled already. I think you can see how big of a benefit that is over your current process. But here is sort of where the magic happens, as it were. If you hit order a premium report, first off, it's going to ask you to confirm that you want to do that. I'm going to say, yes, let's do it. It usually takes 4 or 5 seconds, sometimes less. That was maybe 2 seconds. But it's going to drop another Google pin, this time with a street view so that you can pan around and see what the block looks like. But then look at what kind of stuff it's going to show you. It's going to show you, book page information so that you can do additional research down the road if necessary. But just right here, you're going to see what kind of deed there is. I can see the sheriff deed, so this is definitely looking like a foreclosure. I can see the name of the seller. I can see when the deed was recorded. I can see, there we go. So the current owner, can you see that? Deutsche Bank. So it's definitely been foreclosed. But look, this is a year ago, and as you saw, the property has not been.
I'm going to stop that right there, guys. Do you see that purchase price? And the asset value? That's a good deal. And he knows this. And you guys are going to hear him say it. Hold on.
Sold. It probably still has not been out to auction. That's a big opportunity. We can talk more about that later. But again, it's going to give you full transaction history, what's happened with the property, previous sale amount, again, legal description, block and lot. It's going to give you the lender name, how much the mortgage was, what kind of mortgage it was, if it was conventional, FHA, etc. That kind of stuff matters. And again, we'll talk about why that matters in some other videos. But again, it's going to show you the taxes, which in New Jersey is always a big deal to understand what the tax situation is on the property. But, now this one's already owned by the bank, but it's also going to show me anything related to the previous owner, like if there were liens or judgments. Let's see if there's anything like that. So, yep, sure enough. Yeah, there we go. So we got utility bills that had put some liens on the property. We have tax issues. Yeah, we got lots of issues on this property. So, listen, again, I'm still only about 60, 90 seconds into research. Some medical bills, wow. Credit cards, civil suit. Wow. Oh, and check this out. Even, you see that guy's bankruptcies. We can see that the seller had filed a Chapter 7 bankruptcy. Listen, this kind of information is hugely, hugely valuable. I just can't stress that enough to you. If for no other reason than it's going to help you to have a better conversation with the seller. Now, in this case, the seller is a bank, but if it's an individual, you're going to have a much better conversation with that person if you understand their situation. At the very least, it's going to tell you what questions to ask. It's going to let you know what kind of deal can even get done. And again, we're only 2.5 minutes now into this research. This is game changing, guys. If you've been walking around doing driving for dollars with pen and paper, and then going back to your house and transcribing that and figuring out which pictures go with, what thing that you stopped in front of, and then you got to hop online and do all the research. I mean, guys, we just made you 10 times more productive.
Wow. That's all I can say is wow. So guys, if you haven't went to the website yet, hold on one second.
Hi guys, Justin Winters here from Wholesale.com.
Let me go ahead and go all out of that. Okay. Let me go all the way to the bottom. Hold on one second. Okay. We're back where we started. Okay, hold on. All right. So if you guys have not already been to the website, www.lakeishahamilton.com. See, I made it easy for you. www.lakeishahamilton.com. You're already too late. And you remember when I told you stick around to the end, I got a surprise for you, right? So I'm going to go ahead and click on www.lakeishahamilton.com. And I'm going to show you guys what you'll see when you get into the website. See, there it is. So I'm telling you guys now, this is how you register. You go to www.lakeishahamilton.com. So this is a premium all-in-one software solution to 10 times your wholesale property business this year, not next year, this year, while freeing up 1,500 plus hours of your time. I know a lot of you guys, just like myself, I love driving for dollars, and I did that. I took pictures and jot down numbers, and by the time I got home, I'm like, dang, which picture go with which? And I have to look it up on Trillia, other websites just to make sure it's the right property. So it's a lot of work, and it took me about 8 hours to do it. So that driving for dollar software alone will actually 10 times your business real quick and simplify your business. So we all like simple life, living a simple life. So why not do that? And Wholesale, it provides you with the ultimate leverage for your property wholesale business. Now, we did not say wholesale job. This is a business, and you're doing leverage. And you remember when I told you that you will wear a lot of hats starting off of your business. This system right here will help you leverage those hats. So you're actually running a business and not a job. You're not a technician. So it enables you to do a lot of different things. And you saw that it actually it did title searches for you. So you have your own title company. So when you go and wholesale that property to a buyer, you know that that deal is going to close, right? And also, another important thing, you can also offer services to other people as well, because a lot of people, a lot of investors out here, savvy investors, they want to know that they're actually getting that deal. When that deal go to close, it's gonna close. So actually do a title search for them. Do run comps for other investors, wholesalers around here. You can also joint venture with other wholesalers. They give you a property, you upload it on your website, because what it does, it's a deal syndicator. That buyer's website is a deal syndicator. So what it does, you upload your property onto that website, and then it'll reach out to over 10,000 hungry buyers for your deals. So that's a great thing right there. You get 2 websites, and you get to skip tracing. And then the best part about this, I'm going to just keep going down. And you guys will see this because you already went to www.lakeishahamilton.com. I already know. So I want you guys to see this right here. If you do not have any money, don't worry about it. Wholesale will actually lend you the money to buy your properties. So it's an all-in-one system. You don't have to worry about anything. As long as you have an end buyer, you can actually do transactional funding, and they'll loan you the money to actually close on that property. So it's a great way to, guys. I mean, you have the buyers, you have hard money lenders already ready to lend you the money. So you have 2 ways actually out to get rid of those properties if you can't get it. But with those buyers, you have over 10,000 plus people that actually can buy that property from you. I know out of 10,000 people want to buy it from you. I know that for sure. So this is just information about posting your deals. Just give you more information. And I want to tell you this. We have 2 options getting into this deal right here. You have option 1, the Titan plan, right? And you have another one. I'm going to put it enterprise plan, but I'm going to bring it on down a little bit. These are the prices. So with that, you get premium reports. And you remember when they actually pressed that button and you got everything that you needed? You get 120 of those free premium reports. And that's if you buy for a year. But if you do a monthly thing, it's actually you get 10 per month. So you telling me if you do 10 premium reports, you can't buy 1 property. And that's already paid for. And you remember when I was saying change your mindset? I know when a lot of you already seen this. If you haven't went off, you're probably going to go off. But I just want you to just stick around to the end. And watch what I do. I'm going to press this. Now, this year is the year of no excuses for everybody. And I want everyone to win. Justin want everyone to win. So you get this software, you get additional training. If you're a beginner wholesaler, you don't know where to start, you get this software and training for only $149 a month. You get all of that. Step-by-step training. You get a community, not only with your software, but outside community. You have one coaching once a week. So, I mean, we're not setting you up to fail, guys, at all. So here's what you get. You get full premium extreme high-end custom website. You get 2 of those, the lead generating website. And you get instant deal syndication to over 10,000 buyers in your software. You get hard money. You get the Driving for Dollars app. And you also get free leads every month. You get 10 free leads every month. You pay up front. If you pay this price right here, $14.90 for a whole year, you actually get $120 right up front. So guys, the best part about this, I don't know if you saw it, but you get 30 days free. 30 days free. You get training and you get this software. 30 days free. So therefore you get a trainer, you get training, you get a mentor, and you get someone to hold your hand through each deal. And you get this software for $149 a month. Now you tell me you cannot do one deal in 30 days. I don't even know why y'all still on this webinar. Y'all should have already went to www.lakeishahamilton.com. That's www.lakeishahamilton.com. We give you 30 days free and $159 a month. So within 30 days, you can go ahead and pay this $159. $1,490, and just go ahead and get rid of it for a whole year. You don't have to worry about the system no more. Use it for a whole year. So you tell me that you can't pay $149 in the next 30 days. Just go ahead and sign up right now. Enter your name, phone number, address, and credit card information. www.lakeishahamilton.com. It's very easy, guys. And make sure you enter that promo code. The promo code is Hamilton. You don't have to, but I mean, it'll be best if you actually do it. Enter that promo code Hamilton. You get the training, websites, money, deal syndication. You get someone, a mentor that'll hold your hand, hold you accountable. And you get weekly coaching calls every week. So make sure you go to www.lakeishahamilton.com. And if you guys have any questions, you can reach me at 678-902-6734. And also my business partner, Bobby Medley, 770-274-8150. At Bobby@lushrealestatetraining.com or Lakeisha@lushrealestatetraining.com. Bobby, I train him myself, and that guy right there, he's doing $1 billion deals right now. Today, I train Bobby myself. So whatever you need to know, Bobby's he can help you out. If I'm not available, Bobby's available. So make sure you just shoot us a text, email, or give us a call. And if we don't answer, make sure you leave a message and we'll call you right back. But what you need to do is sign up right today at www.lakeishahamilton.com. That's www.lakeishahamilton.com. And if no one has any questions, we're going to go ahead and end this webinar right now. But make sure you go to www.lakeishahamilton.com and you get 30 days free. And I guarantee you will get a deal within the next 30 days. I'm Lakeisha Hamilton, and that's the end of this webinar. Talk to you soon.